if she were still here with us, do you think she would want the public to know some of the things that you allude to in this book? You know, be it her marriage to Bobby. You mentioned a lot of, seemingly from day one, you know, from the wedding night, you know, from the honeymoon. You know, you mentioned a lot of things that
the wedding was
a
it was a party.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after the ceremony, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they said I do, and the music was on, and we had the best time.
Yeah. But you also mentioned, and this is, I wanted to save this, but it's such a great tidbit in the book, that Eddie Murphy had called her the morning of her wedding to Bobby.
Yeah.
And warned her not to marry him.
Yeah. I think it was like almost afternoon, because at that time she was in her bridal gown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were ready to go, and I had been going back and forth to her room, and I helped her mom and I put on her headdress. And at this point, it was just Sylvia and Whitney. Sylvia is her personal assistant, was with her all the time.
Yes.
And I came into the room, and Whitney said, "Guess who just called?" And I said, "Who?" She said, "Eddie. He must be out of his mind. Matter of fact, he is out of his mind. He's going to call me on my wedding day and tell me that I'm making a mistake."
Wow.
So the conversation went, only Whitney's in, "Yes, I am getting married. Yes, I am. Yes, I am." And obviously she did.
She did. Do you think she'd want people to know, we talk about her, I don't know, call it fluidity. You said you guys never discussed labels, so
yeah, I know.
The past when there was more of a physical relationship, and the Bobby stuff, and do you think she was hiding that stuff for a reason? How do you think she would feel if she knew that this stuff was out now?
Well, what I share about the physical component,
Sure.
the moment in our friendship. What I share, she knows what it was. She knows it was beautiful. And I share that because if people were telling my story in a way that was not beautiful, the reason why I'm able to sit here, why I have the courage to stand up and, share my story is because I feel the need. I feel like it's my duty to do so. So I'm not sharing those details this rumor wears track shoes.
Yes.
It has followed us from the beginning, when nothing was happening, all the way to this moment. So I felt the need to say, look, we were friends. We had a beautiful friendship. I wish everyone could have a friend like I had in Whitney. But she also knew how to be a friend. And as do I. And I think that the beauty of that moment of our friendship and the journey that endured beyond that is what I want people to take note. As far as Bobby, most of what I talk about played out in the press.
Mm-hmm.
And it played out at a time where Whitney was working every day. She was on award shows, receiving several. And, I never forget, I'm at it was Sammy Davis Jr.'s 60th anniversary. And all the greats were there. Richard Pryor, Gregory Hines, Ella Fitzgerald, Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Lola Falana, Diane Carroll, Bob Hope, I could just Quincy Jones. Like, everything that Whitney told me she would do, she did. And nothing stopped her. So along the way, when I heard her anger say, check my cancellations, she meant that because we wrote those vocals and we wrote her vocals 11 months out of 1 year, tour after tour. She stood flat-footed under every pressure that there was, and she delivered. And I'm here to raise that legacy up, put it in her hands, regardless of the behaviors that went on at that time with Bobby. It was a distraction, and it made her what I call, it kind of like littered her path, where she had to answer to it. She had to take the questions while she was accepting an award. You know, Bobby's doing fine. He's doing okay. She had to make the excuses. I was disappointed about that because this was her moment and she should have been able to have it, and they were wonderful moments. But she was always taking on something and answering for someone else.
Almost as if she had to diminish her own star to kind of allow, for those questions to be answered and for those other moments to happen.
Well, it brought in the clouds.